Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to be scrapping a photo of myself and my birthday this year, and I am going to be using the Unforgettable collection from Coco Vanilla. Now this is the first time I bought anything from Coco Vanilla and I love it. I haven't been a fan of most of their things throughout the years, but this collection, Unforgettable, is amazing. So I am cutting up two photos at the moment, just cutting around the little borders to make sure that they've got a little white border, not the big white borders. But I'm only going to be using one photo. I wanted to see if I can work two photos into the layout, but I only end up using one photo. I'm going to be using some of the 12 by 12 American Crafts textured white cardstock as my background, and I'm taking out the 6 by 8 papers from the Unforgettable collection just to see what I wanted to layer behind my photo. And then I came across that little cut apart sheet in the 6 by 12 pad, 8 by 6 pad, and I decided that I was going to cut those up and use them in my layout as well and make sort of a grid layout. Now I didn't have a you know a good idea of what I wanted to do at this stage, but it does come together pretty nicely, and it looks pretty in the end. So at the moment, you did see me fiddling around with my phone. I watch YouTube on my phone or Netflix on my phone when I'm scrapping, and at that moment I was watching some Dr. Phil, little clips from Dr. Phil. Sometimes it's better to watch somebody else's problems than to focus on your own, hey? So yes, so I'm just cutting up that little 8 by 6 pad and to see what I wanted to do. Now I do put that scripty paper, the scripty font paper, aside. I did want to use that, but I don't end up using it in the end. I wanted something more black that looks a bit sketchy. The script looks too sketchy for me, and besides I want to use that scripty paper on a layout that I can read what's on it, read what's on the paper. In any case, so I decided to do sort of a horizontal layout with this, make sort of a horizontal layout, and I'm going to be layering two of those 6 by 8 papers behind my photos, the blue stripy one and then the pink spotty one, and they were left over from another layout that I did a while ago. And I thought that would just be perfect to use to sort of use up those two little papers that I had left. So I wanted to use one of these foam titles on my page, and I cut out the word captured just on its the sort of acetate that it is on, so that I could move it around on the page to see where I wanted to place it. And I decided I wanted to place it at the bottom of the page. Now I do go and swap around the little black card and the gray card, just because the black on the top balanced out the black of the captured a bit better than having the black card nearer to the word captured. It would be too much black in one space, if you get what I mean. So that is what I'm going to be doing there. And I decided I wanted to do a lot of layering on this piece, especially on those little cut aparts that I was cutting apart there. Now this is the first time that I'm going into my embellishment pack, and I just love those flowers. Now I did buy extra sheets of that floral page, the 12 by 12 floral paper, so that I could cut out some more of the flowers, so that I have some more embellishments to work with, because I can get through an embellishment pack in one or two layouts and I didn't want any of those florals. I wanted to use more of the florals, so I wanted more of them, sorry, than just the ones that come in the embellishment pack. So as you can see, I'm just playing around here with the layering and trying to figure out what I wanted to do there. I am going to be using this little tag card, and that is going to be breaking up the grid formation of my layout just a tiny bit. But I like the way it sort of broke away from I don't know, the angular layout, and it sort of added something a bit off, if you get what I mean, a bit diagonal to the back of the layout. Now, I don't know what you guys do for your birthdays, but most years my birthdays are quite uneventful. My cousin came to visit me this year, and it was quite nice, and we went to a spa for the day, and it was absolutely amazing. We had our nails done, we had our we had facials, we had henna put on our hands, and we had pedicures and manicures, and we each had a massage, and it was just divine. And the spa that we went to was so nice, and I think we were the only people in the spa that day in any case, because it was a public holiday here in Dubai. So everybody was at home celebrating whatever they wanted to celebrate, and we were there. And there you see me going on my phone again. I'm trying to find something to watch. I do a lot of layering on this page, and I do stick up a lot of those goodies on some foam squares, and I do use doilies. Now, I haven't been using too many doilies in the last months really. I used to use them quite often, and the other day while I was cleaning my craft room, I found a little wad of doilies again, so I decided I have to use some more doilies in my layouts, and this is the perfect collection to fit those doilies. So I'm going to be putting another one, and this just sort of balances out, giving it a sort of a triad look, the rule of thirds, having something balancing out on one end of your layout. So I'm going to be using that little arrow in there as well, and that also breaks up the very sort of rigid angular grid-like pattern of this layout, because it sort of goes over the two hemispheres of the layout, that little arrow that I've got going there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be sticking down all of these, and I won't make you watch all of it. I'll just have it a bit fast forward. And this is basically how I do a layout. I first place everything the way I want it before I stick it down. I don't just go ahead and stick everything down, and it has its ups and downs. It has its positives and negatives. The negative is that if you don't stick something down immediately, it will move and you won't be able to get it back, or you won't remember where you put it the first time, and then it won't have that same effect as what you had it when you had it down the first time if you didn't stick it down immediately. The positive is that you can move it if you don't like where it is, or if you find something different later on and you want to put it in that specific spot. It's very easy to go back and to just pick it up and put something down immediately again. So I'm looking for a brush pen. One of my brush pens is running out of ink, so I'm looking just for another brush pen to do the wispy border around my layout. Now, for this project that I'm doing, documenting all of my birthday photos, they are all going to have this wispy border around it so that they all look cohesive and together. I'm not going to be putting these in a separate album. I'll be putting them in the 2019 album. And there you go. I'm just giving you some close-ups of the texture, and something fell off there. I forgot to stick down a heart. This is it for this layout. If you like what you see, please give this video a like, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you part of my Scrappy community. Bye.